Hey guys, what's good? I'm going to be reviewing Futurama Season 11, Episode 9. This one is titled The Prince and the Product. I'll be breaking this down in a few sections, and there will be spoilers. Let's start with the summary. This episode is a little weird as it has a main story and 3 smaller stories that are sprinkled in. I will try to note when we're on the main story and when we're on the side stories. Alright, we start off with the main story. The episode starts with the whole planet's crew with a box that is said to be delivered to a king. They arrive at a castle and Fry kisses the king's toe. They open the box at the king's request to reveal it is a portrait of the queen in macaroni. The Prince of Space then comes in, and Leela is immediately enchanted by him. They announce they are getting married, and Fry is obviously upset. Alright, over to the first side story. And all of these side stories are all toy themed, just a little heads up. This one is called Windows. All of Plan X and the crew are made of Windows now. The professor tells them they have a delivery. Fry comes in and seems to be running a little slow. He goes to see Zoidberg, who tells the crew that Fry's main spring is nearly wound down. Bender is upset and takes him to the Temple of Robotology for spiritual guidance. Preacher Butt explains to Bender that heaven is more of a metaphor than a real place.
Metaphor? Isn't that just a fancy word for steaming load? I wouldn't call it fancy.
Amy tells him that there is a guru high up, but is interrupted by Bender dragging the whole crew to see the guru. On the mountain, Fry winds down and falls over. Bender gives him spring-to-spring resuscitation. Fry wakes back up, but now Bender winds down and falls down the mountain into a lava pool. Fry insists that he must find out what the meaning of life is, and he heads to see the guru. He runs into the fortune teller. She tells him that spirits will be reincarnated in a new body. Bender is reincarnated as a plane, but crashes into the mountain. Back over at the main story, the king forbids the prince and Leela's marriage. Fry gets angry at the king for calling Leela average. The king challenges Fry to a duel where if Fry wins, the wedding is on, but if the king wins, Fry's head is off. Back over to the side stories. We are introduced to a toy called Round Wheels, which is a ripoff of Hot Wheels.
Go, go, round wheels. Buy round wheels. Go buy round wheels. Wheels sold separately.
In this story, everyone is round wheel cars. They have a mission to deliver a piece of track to Saturn. I want to note that my girlfriend mentioned how cute Zoidberg's car was. Here's a little picture. The professor states that everyone is going except Zoidberg. They deliver the track, then test it out, while Zoidberg looks on and cries. The news tells them that a few cars have died after watching a suspicious video, and they proceed to show it. It is a Ring-style video, but with cars. They inform everyone that after viewing the video, that you'll get a phone call and die in hours. Amy gets a call, and her headlights turn to TV static. She drives out to Warranties Are Us. The gate opens and lets her in, but quickly smashes her car into pieces. Leela and Fry talk about Amy being missing, but then Fry gets a call that turns both him and Leela's headlights to TV static. They drive out to the warranty store and are crushed. Back at Plan X, Bender gets a call and the same thing happens to him, but this time the professor and Hermes follow Bender. Professor falls out of a loop and is destroyed. Hermes follows Bender all the way to the warranty store where he watches him get crushed. He limbos under the gate to avoid being crushed. There, he finds Zoidberg. He has been taking parts from each of the cars and adding them to himself, since they never include him in anything. He crushes Hermes and takes his hood. This removes Zoidberg's mouth from the car, and the crew try to escape, but they crash. Amy informs them that she bought the warranty. Back to the main story, Fry and the king are in armor, ready to duel. Leela volunteers to fight in place of Fry as his champion. She mounts her weird monster horse thing, and her lance is made of light like a lightsaber. Leela stabs the opponent, which is revealed to be the prince who volunteered as champion for the king. Leela is devastated to have killed the prince.
I killed my true love!
No, I'm fine. Oh, you mean that guy?
On to the last side story. This one is about rubber ducks. The short opens with Fry, Amy, Zoidberg, and the professor back from a delivery. They are ducks. They argue about the water being infinite. The professor leads them on an expedition to the end of the water. They soon spot land and come across Bender, Leela, Hermes, and Scruffy as Weeble Wobbles. Leela locks eyes with Fry and they swoon. The ducks head toward land. Bender gives them a hard time, but Leela steps between them. They all sit down for a meal where Leela and Fry talk. Leela admits her love for Fry, and the ducks freak out. The Wobbles quickly do the same, and they declare war on each other. A battle breaks out that causes everyone to die. Fry's duck breaks open to reveal a mini Fry Wobble, and Leela's Wobble breaks open to reveal a mini Leela duck. The short ends with an ad for Egulons. Back at the main story, Fry and Leela fly away from the castle. Fry tells Leela he is sorry she had to kill the love of her life. She tells Fry she was under a spell. The professor interrupts to correct them from a magic spell to a science spell. We zoom out to see the ship is Bender, who has been resurrected, but he crashes into a planet. All right, let's go over a couple of things that I liked. The jokes in this episode were actually pretty good. I like when Futurama gets to do these wild mini story episodes. Really allows them to be a little bit more creative and take some extra risks that they wouldn't normally probably do in a normal episode. I also thought all the little mini stories were actually pretty fun and pretty entertaining. All right, let's go over a couple of things I disliked. This episode did seem randomly thrown into the season, like it just was kind of tossed in randomly here. The main story also seemed to be kind of more filler for the more creative side stories. All right, as for a rating, I'm gonna give this one a 7.5. I thought this episode was pretty fun and pretty funny, while also being a little bit randomly placed. The main story seemed a little bit like an afterthought, but the side stories really carried this one through. We only have one episode left this season. Do you think it's going to end up being the best one of this season? But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, make sure you subscribe for more. I also stream over on Twitch on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll have the links down in the description below, and I'll see y'all in the next one.